this is Munson with Munson Music. I'm going to talk about how you could play a song called Hey Brother by Avicii. I end up cabling this on the 3rd fret to kind of match the recording, but it starts off with this cool little lick in the background where you can kind of play open E and then 2nd fret on the D string. And it's kind of this sustained idea that kind of lasts for 2 measures around an E minor chord. We play E minor. First finger goes to the A on the 2nd fret, 2nd finger goes to the D string on the 2nd fret. And if you strum all those together, that sounds an E minor chord, and it sounds really sad. Now you may also want to think about putting the 3rd finger on the B string 3rd, pinky on the high E string 3rd, making that an E minor 7, which can be very, very cool too. And then from that E minor for our intro, we end up on our verse, kind of starting with 2 E minors, and then we go to a C major chord. When we play C major, first finger goes to the B on the 1st fret, 2nd finger on the D string 2nd fret, 3rd finger on the A string 3rd fret. And if you strum the A string to the high E string, that sounds a C major chord, and it sounds really happy. Or you may want to think about a C major 9, where you do first finger on the D string 2nd fret, 2nd finger on the A string 3rd, 3rd finger on the B string 3rd, pinky on the high E string 3rd. And if you strum the A string to the high E string, that sounds a C major 9. And then from the C, we're going to be going to a G major chord. When we play G major, first finger goes to the A on the 2nd fret, 2nd finger on the low E string 3rd fret, 3rd finger on the high E string 3rd fret. If you strum all those together, that sounds a G major chord, and it sounds really, really happy. Now you may also want to think about putting 3rd finger on the B string 3rd, pinky on the high E string 3rd. And if you strum all those together, that sounds a G major chord, and it sounds really happy. And then from there we go to a D major chord. When we play D major, first finger goes to the G on the 2nd fret, 2nd finger on the high E 2nd fret, 3rd finger on the B string 3rd fret. And if you strum the D string to the high E string, that sounds a D major chord, and it sounds really happy. Now around the D, you may also want to think about lifting off the 2nd finger, making that a D sus2, or taking the regular D and adding in the pinky and making that a D suspended chord and kind of say some stuff on the D chord. And then from there, then we go back to our E minor. So on our verse, we kind of have this E minor, C, G, D, E minor. A lot of times with a song like this, to make it more interesting, I like adding something called a strum pattern. And one of my favorite strum patterns for a 4/4 like this is down, down, up, up, down, up. So we took the E minor and just tried that a lot. You'd have down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. Now the weird part about applying that to our verse though is there's a couple chords that'll end up halving. So on those chords we'll end up just doing kind of down, down, up song. Kind of when we get that C, G, D idea. So we got E minor, down, up, down, up, E minor, down, up, down, up, C, down, up, G, down, up, E, down, up, E minor, down, up, down, up, E minor, down, up, down, up, E minor, down, up, down, up, C, down, up, G, down, up, E minor, down, up, down, up. And then from there, then we'll be going into our pre-chorus, which kind of mixes up a couple things. So we end up with D, down, up, down, up, G, down, up, C, down, up, D, down, up, down, up, D, down, up, down, up, G, down, up, C, down, up, E minor, down, up, down. We have another big E minor. And then from there, we'll be repeating our verse and our pre-chorus until we get to our chorus part. And if we tried our chorus with our strum pattern, we'd have the E minor, down, up, down, up, C, down, up, G, down, up. Into a chorus tag, which kind of mixes up a couple things. We end up on the D, down, up, down, up, G, down, up, C, down, up, D, down, up, B, down, up, down, up, G, down, up, C, down, up, E minor, down, down, up, E minor. Just like the pre-chorus. And then we end up on a cool instrumental break, where you may want to start on the E minor, and then do the C, and then the D, and then we go back to E minor, we go to a G major chord, and then we go to a D major chord, but you kind of hear in the bass where the 2nd fret on the low E string is kind of coming out. And if you wanted to, you could kind of use something called D/F sharp, where you do the first finger on the low E string 2nd, 2nd on the G string 2nd, 3rd finger on the high E 2nd, and the pinky on the B string 3rd. And if you strum all those together, that sounds a D/F sharp. Or you could take your regular D shape and add that note in with the thumb. Or you could use something called D sus/F sharp, where you do the first finger on the low E 2nd, 2nd finger on the G string 2nd, third finger on the B string third, and the pinky on the high E string third. And that might be another option for that too. So on that break, then we end up with the E minor, down, up, down, up, C, down, up, E, down, up, E minor, down, up, G, down, up, slash F sharp, E minor, C, D, E minor, G, D slash F sharp. Now the weird part is though, to play along with the Avicii, instead of starting on an E minor chord, it's actually starting on a G minor chord. So to play along with the recording, what you want to do is take a capo, and if you put the capo on 3rd fret, then now your E minor is really a G minor chord, your C is really an E flat major, your D is really an F major chord, and your G major is really a B flat major chord. But you may want to kind of kick it off with kind of that intro lick where you just kind of alternate those E notes. Or you may want to kind of work just downs kind of on the chords too. Would be a cool option too. Or you could use the down, down, up, down, up, and down, down. And then from that intro, then we go into our verse part. So we'd have our E minor, down, up, down, up, E minor, down, up, C, down, up, G, down, up, E, down, up, E minor, down, up. Or if you're digging on the downs, you could do that too. I'm kind of doing that with a little bit of muting, and that could be a cool way to kind of mix that up. E minor. And then from there, then we go into our pre-chorus part. So we'd have our D, down, up, down, up, G, down, up, C, down, up, D, down, up, down, up, B, G, C, E minor. And then we kind of have a big E minor. And then from there, then we come in on our next verse. Now something else I think about adding to the song though is bass notes, and a lot of times on that first down of the down, down, up, down, up, you throw in a bass note for the chord. So on the E minor you'd have low E for the bass, on the C you'd have the A for the bass, on the G you'd have low E for the bass, and on the D you'd have the D for the bass, unless you're doing the D slash F sharp, in which case you'd have the low E for the bass. So we tried our next verse with the bass notes. We'd have E minor, low E bass, E minor, low E bass, C with an A bass, pre-chorus part. So we tried that with basses. We have D with a D bass, G with a low E bass, C with an A bass, D with a D bass, D with a D bass, G with a low E bass, C with an A bass, D with a low E bass, then kind of a big E minor. And then from there, then we'd be going into our chorus parts. So we try our chorus with basses. We have E minor, C with a bass, down G with a low E bass, G with a low E bass, pre-chorus. So that would D, G with low E bass, C with an A bass, D with a D bass, D with a D bass, G with low E bass, C, E minor, and then kind of a big E minor. And then you'll kind of hear this cool little 3-2 lick happen on the low E string, kind of a G, F sharp to lead us into our break. So we tried our break with basses. We'd have E minor with low E bass, C with an A bass, D with a D bass, E minor with low E bass, G with low E bass, D slash F sharp, low E bass, E minor, C, D, E minor, G with low E bass, D slash F sharp. And on that break, actually, you'll kind of hear this cool little trumpet lick come in. Or if you wanted to kind of follow those notes, you could play 2nd fret on the D string, and then open B, 3rd fret on the B, open E, 3rd fret on the B string, and then we go back to the open D and kind of do a hammer on, and then open G, open B, 3rd fret on the B, open E, 2nd on the high E, open E, and then 3rd fret on the B, open G. And sometimes we kind of end up with this tag where you play open B, and then 2nd on the G, and then open G to kind of lead back to that 2, 2, 0, 3, 0, 0, 3, 3, 0, 2, 0, 0, 0, 0, 3, 0, 2, 0, 3, 0, 0, 2, 0, 2, 2, 2, 0, 3, 0, 0, 3, 3, 0, 2, 0, 0, 0, 3, 0, 2, 0, 3, 0, 0. And kind of working around those licks. And then from that break, actually, we kind of end up repeating that until we end up with kind of a big E minor. And then we end up back on our verse part. But what you may want to do actually is kind of take all these different ideas and kind of mix them up into how you want to play the song. So it might be kind of a cool thing to use downstrokes through the song. Or kind of work that down, down, up, down, up. Or if you know other licks on the chords, that could be cool to kind of mix it up a little bit too. And then from there, then we'll be going into our next pre-chorus. So whatever. Going into our chorus, we try mixing it up on that. We have the E minor, C, G, G, minor, C, G. From there, then we hit that chorus tag. It's kind of like our pre-chorus. We have D, into kind of our outro break. We got the E minor, C, D minor, G, D slash F sharp, E minor, C, D minor, G, D slash F sharp, E minor. That's the basics of how you get strummed through Hey Brother by Avicii. So good luck!